We are going to do 3 examples in this video. Let's take a look at example 1. Suppose I'm given f of x equals 3x minus 8. And we want to find f of x plus h minus f of x all divided by h, where h doesn't equal 0. First step, we want to find f of x plus h. So in the function f of x equals 3x minus 8, I'm going to replace x with x plus h. And when I do that, I get f of x plus h is equal to 3 times x plus h minus 8. Now, I'm going to distribute the 3 over to the x and to the h. And then when I do that, I end up with 3x plus 3h minus 8. In the second step, I want to find f of x plus h minus f of x and simplify. Now, we start with f of x plus h minus f of x. I'm going to replace f of x plus h with 3x plus 3h minus 8. That's from step 1. I'm going to replace f of x with 3x minus 8. And notice that 3x minus 8 is inside parentheses. Now, I get to distribute the minus sign over to the 3x and over to the minus 8 so that I can remove the parentheses. And when I do that, I get 3x plus 3h minus 8 minus 3x plus 8. Now notice, negative 8 plus 8 is equal to 0. So that allows me to cross off the negative 8 and the positive 8. And 3x minus 3x is equal to 0, which allows me to cross off the 3x and the minus 3x. And what we have left is 3h. Now we're all set for the final step. We want to find f of x plus h minus f of x and simplify. Now, f of x plus h minus f of x over h is equal to 3h over h, right? And f of x plus h minus f of x comes out of step 2. Now, h divided by h is equal to 1, and that allows me to cross off the h's, and what we have left is equal to 3. And so therefore, f of x plus h minus f of x, all divided by h, is equal to 3. And that's how we do example 1. Let's take a look at example 2. Suppose we are given f of x equals 2.5x squared plus 6x. And we want to find f of x plus h minus f of x all divided by h, where h doesn't equal 0. Now, in the first step, we want to find f of x plus h. Same idea as example 1. So in the function f of x equals 2.5x squared plus 6x, I'm going to replace x with x plus h. And when I do, I get f of x plus h is equal to 2.5 times x plus h squared plus 6 times x plus h. Now there's 2 things that are happening at the same time. And I'm going to take the 6 and distribute it to both the x and the h. That's the first step. And then what I'm going to do also is take x plus h and then square it. Now we can come up here if we want. Off to the side, I'm going to take x plus h and square it. But that can be written as x plus h times x plus h. And then I'm just applying the distributive property. X times x is x squared. X times h is xh. H times x can also be written as xh. And then h times h can be written as h squared. And then when I simplify that, I get x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. And with that in mind, f of x plus h is equal to 2.5, again, times x plus h squared, plus 6 times x plus h. And then on the next line, we can say 2.5 times the quantity, x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, plus 6x plus 6h. And now, on the next line, I'm going to distribute the 2.5 to each term within the parentheses. And when that happens, I get 2.5x squared plus 5xh plus 2.5h squared plus 6x plus 6h right here. Okay. Now, from here, I'm going to take f of x plus h and subtract f of x. Now, remember, f of x plus h can be written as 2.5x squared plus 5xh plus 2.5h squared plus 6x plus 6h. And then when I subtract f of x, I'm going to replace f of x with 2.5x squared plus 6x. And notice how 2.5x squared plus 6x is inside parentheses. Now, to get to the next line, I have to distribute the negative to each term within the parentheses. And when I do that, I get 2.5x squared plus 5xh plus 2.5h squared plus 6x plus 6h minus 2.5x squared minus 6x. Now, 2.5x squared minus 2.5x squared is equal to 0. So I can cross off those terms. 6x minus 6x is also 0, and I can cross off those terms. And what I have left is 5xh plus 2.5h squared plus 6h. That's right here. And then this is a good habit to get into. Notice how every term contains an h. If every term doesn't contain an h, we've done something incorrect, okay? And then from here, I want to factor out the h. And when I do that, I get h times the quantity 5x plus 2.5h plus 6. Now I've set myself perfectly up for the third step. Now, f of x plus h minus f of x over h is equal to h times the quantity 5x plus 2.5h plus 6 divided by h. And remember, h doesn't equal 0, so h over h is equal to 1, and that's going to allow me to cross out these h's. And what I have left is 5x plus 2.5h plus 6. And so therefore f of x plus h minus f of x all divided by h is equal to 5x plus 2.5h plus 6. And with that, let's take a look at one more example for this video. In example 3, we are given f of x equals x to the fourth, and we want to find f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h, where h doesn't equal 0. In the first step, we want to find f of x plus h. So in the function f of x equals x to the fourth, replace x with x plus h. And when I do that, I get f of x plus h is equal to x plus h to the fourth. Okay, first step. And then I claim when I expand that out, I get x to the fourth plus 4x cubed h plus 6x squared h squared plus 4xh cubed plus h to the fourth. Okay? In the second step, we want to find f of x plus h minus f of x. So that's equal to x to the fourth plus 4x cubed h plus 6x squared h squared plus 4x h cubed plus h to the fourth minus x to the fourth. Okay, so remember, these set of terms represent f of x plus h. And this last term represents f of x. And notice that x to the fourth minus x to the fourth is equal to 0. That allows me to cross off these terms. And what I have left is 4x cubed h plus 6x squared h squared plus 4x h cubed plus h to the fourth. Factoring out an h, we get h times the quantity 4x cubed plus 6x squared h plus 4x h squared plus h cubed. And now I've set myself up really well for the third and final step. F of x plus h minus f of x, all divided by h, is h times the quantity, 4x cubed plus 6x squared h plus 4x h squared plus h cubed, all divided by h. But again, remember, h divided by h is equal to 1. And so that allows me to cross off these h's. And what I have left is 4x cubed plus 6x squared h plus 4x h squared plus h cubed. I am done. So f of x plus h minus f of x, all divided by h, is equal to 4x cubed plus 6x squared h plus 4x h squared plus h cubed. Now, I have one final comment for this video. And some of you may wonder how I took x plus h and raised it to the fourth. Now, we can write this as x plus h to the second times x plus h raised to the second. And we talked about this earlier in this video, where we can write this as x squared plus 2xh plus h squared times x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Notice in the first brackets we have 3 terms. In the second brackets we also have 3 terms. I'll show you kind of a slick way we can multiply polynomials. So I'm going to draw a little rectangle. And I'm going to divide it up into 3 sections here, straight up and down, and then 3 sections here. Okay? I'm going to put x squared, 2xh, and h squared across the top, and x squared, 2xh, and h squared across the bottom. Now, x squared times x squared is equal to x to the fourth. H squared times h squared is h to the fourth, right? That goes down here. 2xh times 2xh is equal to 4x squared h squared. So notice I'm viewing these as the sum of the areas of 9 rectangles. Okay. Now, x squared times 2xh is 2x cubed h. X squared times h squared is equal to x squared h squared. And then 2xh times x squared is 2x cubed h. And then h squared times x squared is, again, x squared h squared. You guys see that? And h squared times 2xh is 2xh cubed. And then 2xh times h squared is 2xh cubed. And then I'm just adding diagonals. So I get x to the fourth Notice how these are the same, like terms. I get plus 4x cubed h, and then I'm going to add these guys up. 6x squared h squared plus 4x h cubed plus h to the fourth. And that's a nice way to add up. You can, I'll say it this way. You can take x plus h to the fourth, and then you can write it as x plus h squared times x plus h squared, and then look at areas of the 9 rectangles and add them up, and that ends up being the same thing as x plus h to the fourth. It's just geometrically viewing what x plus h to the fourth means. Okay, and that'll do it for this video, and this is 3 examples on the difference quotient. Thank you.